Extraterrestrial or celestial objects discovered by coincidence on Earth are always fascinating to scientists and archaeologists. Thanks to strange cosmic coincidences, when these exotic extraterrestrial objects crash into our realm, they provide scientists and researchers a chance to learn more about outer space. However, sometimes the findings of these relics are so mystifying that the results literally end up baffling us. Hello and welcome back to the Door to the Universe. This time, we're back with a list of the 10 mysterious artifacts that most likely belong in space. So, like this video and get glued to your seats as you're about to see some of the most peculiar objects ever seen. Number 1. Sri Lankan Meteorite. On the 29th of December 2012, a fireball burning in green and yellow flame lit up the skies of Polonnaruwa, an ancient city of Sri Lanka. Multiple meteorites descended on the fields of the village at breakneck speed, and the light observed by the residents was so dazzling and radiant that it could be seen far across the fields. The villagers also reported a prevailing smell of tar in the area for days. After the event, the research team of Colombo collected the samples of meteorite and sent them to Cardiff University in the UK. Upon researching the fallen particle, Dr. Sandra Rickinsingh, a Sri Lankan astrobiologist, described that the particle was actually a meteorite with fossilized diatoms. Also, using the oxygen isotope analysis and X-ray diffraction, the team of Jamie Wallace in the UK concluded that the meteorite was very uncommon and had properties that could blow human minds. One of the meteorites had a density as low as 1 gram per centimeter cube, which is unusually low. But what's more unusual was that such low densities of matter are rarely found in carbon-made meteorites, which made the fallen particle one of a kind. Upon further investigation, scientists found that the fossil meteorite also contained a rare hydrocarbon structure that is not normally found in meteorites. According to scientists, meteorites and asteroids are usually made of metal and do not contain the organic compound. However, this rare cosmic object had compounds that are found in dinoflagellate algae, which is a living organism. Cool, isn't it? Moving on. Number 2. The Drapa Stones. In the year 1938, a Chinese archaeologist, Dr. Che Pute, found some weird, unexplainable objects in China that mankind had never seen before. The research was conducted on the Bayankara Ula, a mountain range that held a series of caves that appeared ancient to the researchers. Upon initial research, the team reported that the caves were seamlessly carved and had a tunneled architecture that seemed like it was made by using some advanced architectural technology. On the expedition, the team first found a bizarre disc-like stone that was again perfectly carved. As per the archaeologists, these stones dated back to around 10,000 years and were hardly a foot long and had a thickness of about an inch. Similar to a compact disc, the stones had a flawlessly engraved hole in the center and spiral grooves similar to a gramophone CD. But what they found next literally blew their minds, as it was even more bizarre. Dr. Chi and his team came across real skeletons that were 4 feet tall and had long, strange heads. Yes, they also found human graves there, and each grave they found had a skeleton of a human-like species that had small bodies and weird heads. The cave also intrigued the team, as apart from all the substantial findings, they found inexplicable drawings on the walls of the cave that had structures like a rising sun, unidentified objects, and stars. For years, these remains and the stones were kept at the university for further study. But in recent years, it was found that the disc stones had minute kinds of literature written on them in sign language. Upon decoding the hieroglyphics, archaeologists found that the stones were engraved with messages like, "The Drapa comes from the cloud in its spacecraft." The messages engraved also talked about how the spacecraft landed in a strange world where the species had to spend the rest of their lives. However, the weirdest part of the discovery was that these Drapa Stones suddenly started vanishing from all the museums it was stored in, and astrologists and anthologists stopped talking about them. Number 3. The Costa Rica Meteorite. On the night of April 15th, 2019, a strange incident happened with a lady living in Costa Rica. While doing chores, Marcia Campos heard a huge thudding sound that came from the back of her house. She rushed into the back of her house and saw the after effects of something that looked like a blast. She saw that a weird-looking blackish object smashed the roof of her house and fell on the floor, which was still hot to the touch. However, Marcia wasn't the only one who witnessed the meteorite that night. The flying, radiant, and glowing objects were seen by multiple people who claimed to witness a space rocket hovering over the sky. Upon research, scientists found that the weird object was a meteorite, rich in hydrocarbons and amino acids. These are the building blocks of life. Scientists claim that the space object found that night was very valuable, as it dated back to 1 million years. Number 4. A 300-million-year-old tooth wheel. In 2013, a Russian man was skimming through his piles of coal when he found something that did not really look like coal. Upon researching the old man's findings, scientists reported that the object seemed like a toothed wheel that came out of an advanced device. However, it wasn't any usual tooth wheel, as the wheel contained 98% perfect aluminum and some traces of magnesium. But what's strange was that humans first made aluminum in 1825, and the object dated back 300 million years. This object is still a mystery to scientists that remains unsolved. Number 5. The Amuamua Object. In early 2017, a Hawaiian man saw something strange in space through his telescope. The object he saw was so strange that he thought it was an alien spaceship. This object was later named Amuamua and was considered the first ever interstellar object floating through the solar system. However, what's weird about the object was its eccentric, long, spacecraft-like shape that no one had ever seen before. Researchers claimed that this object is one of a kind, as it's neither a comet nor an asteroid, and seems to be made of space debris and cosmic gases. Science, as of yet, is unable to determine what Amuamua actually is. Number 6. The Betts Ball. The Betts Ball is still a mystery to mankind. This ball was found by the Betts family, who found this sphere in their backyard in 1974. The family saw the ball lying in the backyard and took it inside their home as it seemed intriguing to them. According to them, the ball resembled a bowling ball with a triangle marking and had an 8-inch radius and about 8 pounds weight. However, the turn of events happened soon after they took it. The ball started behaving strangely as it suddenly began to respond to different sounds and started rolling on its own. Scientists to this day haven't figured out what this ball was and what made it activate in the Betts house. Number 7. The Aoid Wedge. In 1974, another weird incident happened in Romania. Some construction workers, while working, came across a weird metal-looking object that, according to them, was buried 30 feet below the surface. The object looked like a wedge and contained 90% aluminum and 6% copper. Archaeologists in Romania reported that the object dates back to 11,000 years. Aeronautical engineers who came across the photo of the wedge claimed that this wedge matches the wedges used in landing gears in spacecrafts. This could mean that the wedge was a part of an alien spacecraft that visited Earth some 11,000 years ago. Number 8. Alien Corpse. What's more bizarre than finding an alien corpse in the desert? In 2017, a man was walking in the deserts of Peru when he stumbled upon a mummified alien head. This head was much smaller than a human baby's head and had a long alien shape and angular eyes. The X-ray concluded that the head was a real skull that once belonged to an extraterrestrial species. Number 9. The Roswell Stone. The cryptic Roswell rock was found in Mexico in 2004. The man who found it saw the rock half buried in the sand, and when he picked it up, he noticed that the rock was unusually smooth and had some cryptic signs carved on it. The rock basically had a motif of 2 triangles and 2 moons. But what's more intriguing was that a similar rock was found some years ago in England. Linda Howe, who is an expert in Akashic studies, upon seeing the rock, guessed that aliens are trying to communicate with humans in sign languages. Weird, isn't it? Number 10. The Caso Artifact. A couple of hikers were hiking in California when they came across a weird shiny rock. When the hikers found the rock, they were sure that what they found was not a normal rock, but a geode, that is a crystal engraved in a rocky structure. But when cutting the geode, they found that the rock had a porcelain casing and metallic spring fixed into the rock. The rock looked like a normal spark plug, but dated back to about 5,000 years ago. What's more intriguing was that the hikers that discovered the rock from the mountains went missing, as if they were transmitted to a different world through a space portal. So that's all the artifacts we have time for today. Do let us know which artifacts intrigued you the most and what you think of these artifacts in the comments section below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.